Our cover story tonight remains the crisis in Ukraine. Russia's invasion of Ukraine was supposed to happen today. It did not. There were some cyber attacks on Ukrainian government websites and banks, but no military attack. Instead, Russia says it is pulling back some troops. What do these mixed signals mean? Is this de-escalation or the beginning of de-escalation? Will Russia pull back all its troops, or will it launch a limited incursion? What about the Indian students who are in Ukraine? Should they come back? Earlier today, I put these questions to Dr. Igor Polikha. He is Ukraine's ambassador to India. He said war is not imminent. The situation is difficult but not critical, and a diplomatic solution could be in sight. He even had a message for our viewers in India and Ukraine in Hindi. Here's an excerpt from that conversation. Ambassador Igor Polikha, welcome to WION, sir.
Thanks a lot.
Today was supposed to be the day of the invasion, quote unquote, or war, according to the predictions by some of Ukraine's allies and some statements by your own president. Last we checked, it hasn't happened. Do you still fear it might?
First of all, Palki, I can congratulate you. You were the pioneer among Indian journalists to visit Ukraine. I saw some of your stories about situation in Ukraine. I highly appreciate your professional level.
Thank you, sir.
You met people from various strata of society. And that's why I congratulate you on being highly qualified and professional pioneer in the Ukrainian direction. Coming back to the issue you raised. Of course, 16th was announced as the date of invasion. You see, starting from after 2014, I can remember 10, 15, maybe 20 exact dates of invasion, which never happened. We are happy that we survived 21st attempt of invasion. But talking seriously, again, there are too many questions to the professionalism of many journalists. Many people are just looking for cheap sensations. For some people, this 16th of February, it became some kind of tamasha. Mukabla. Who will predict the exact date? According to one tabloid, invasion should have started today at 1 a.m. According to the second tabloid, it should have started at 3 a.m. Of course, nothing happened.
But your own president was one of those who gave 16th of February as the possible date of invasion.
Our president never confirmed any exact date of invasion. Our president repeatedly claimed that Ukraine is closely monitoring the situation. And his main postulate was that Ukraine is not expecting and don't see any imminent danger of invasion. Well, today, 16 has not materialized. Decent journalists, after such information, at least should publish that I am sorry, maaf kijiye. It was a deep mistake. These people, some journalists, they are making sensation. No excuse, no maaf kijiye. 16 didn't materialize. Now they are discussing some new dates. Immediately they are getting new dates. That's why my request is to many journalists. Stop playing tamasha with the dates. Situation is difficult, but it's not critical.
And I will not try to defend anyone in the press who sensationalizes something as serious as this. But would you also say the same for your allies in the West? Because we've heard people from the government, both in the US and the UK, say and use words like, an invasion is imminent, I'm quoting. An attack may happen in the next 48 hours. US intelligence assessments saying that there might be 50,000 civilian casualties in Ukraine. That did lead to a lot of panic and worry. So while you blame the journalists, and sometimes rightly so, would you also say the same for your Western allies who have ratcheted up this tension?
You see, in this case, I am not dividing Asian, European, or other journalists.
Okay,
I
allies.
am
Allies.
Yes, even allies journalists. I am asking all the journalists.
I'm not talking about journalists, sir. I'm talking about the governments.
I am asking all the journalists to be more careful and more cautious with all these headlines, with all these panicky moods.
Absolutely appreciate it, sir. But I'm asking you not about journalists. I'm asking you about the Foreign Office in the UK, about the White House spokesperson in the United States saying these exact same things. The journalists make headlines from what their governments are telling, and their governments are saying, quote unquote, an invasion is imminent. It may happen in the next 48 hours. 50,000 civilians may be killed.
You see, I am, thanks God, ambassador to India. Of course, I don't like to comment the statements of some our allies, of some our Western partners. I can comment only I am responsible, first of all, for India. I highly appreciate Indian balanced position. For example, in this travel advisory, your embassy is working in normal regime. People, Indian citizens in Ukraine may consider possibility of temporarily leaving Ukraine. In this case, as ambassador to India, I can only appreciate the Indian position.
All right, so we'll talk about Indians, and we have thousands of Indian students, and
Yes.
We did speak to some of them, and now this advisory has come. So I want you to send out a message to the parents of all the students who are studying in Ukraine, maybe in Hindi if you want to, and tell them what the situation is like and whether they should worry about their children.
It's not so critical and panicky as some people are trying to make. I can repeat once again, situation is strenuous, but it's not critical. I understand the worries of some parents. They are asking the government, please bring our children back, and so on and so on. I don't see any danger of the imminent war. It's the right of the Indian government, and it's the right of Indian citizens to decide whether to come back for some time to India. Moreover, the weather is very fine now. Or whether to stay in Ukraine. It's your choice.
I want you to, I know you speak very good Hindi, and I want you to say something to our audience in Hindi.
Tak, Palki ji, आपके आने के लिए बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद. आप तो मेरे ख्याल में highly professional पत्रकार, और आपको धन्यवाद यूक्रेन के बारे में, इस रिपोर्ट यूक्रेन के बारे में जिसने आपने किया.
Thank you so much, Ambassador, and thank you for speaking with us. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.